Greetings, we come to you with the 7th episode of the Touchdown Podcast. This is Felix, your host. Keith and Pius are on my panel. And gentlemen, it's been a week of activities and dare I say a new idea from FUFA. Pius, the FUFA Super 8.
Well, the FUFA Super 8 was an idea that was brought about to help clubs organize for the season. 6 clubs that... the 6 clubs that finished from the 1st to the 6th position, and then the 2 that were promoted.
Yes.
The ones actually before, the big league was split into 2, but right now it's going to be a different thing that is going to be done. So the winner of each group, let's say the winners of the 2 sides are the ones who were added to the 6, so to come up with the 8. So every team that wins its first match, or every game that is played, the team that wins progresses to the next level.
So it's a one-off.
Yeah, it's a one-off.
And we saw KCC beat Bull FC by 3 goals to 2.
Yeah, so KCC are already into the semi-finals of this competition. The competition actually was started in 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But it wasn't effective, so they decided to revive it with another brand that had died out. So it's a revival of 2, just beyond the game itself, beyond the competition itself. Even the sponsors, that is Pilsner, are back into the game.
Okay, and of course, like you said, we saw KCC beat Bidco 3-2, but they still looked rusty.
Well, they look rusty because they've had so many players moving on. You know, it's a lot of work getting these players, the new players and the old players together. So it's not easy having players move on every now and then having all of them trying to figure out how they're going to progress after some of them have moved on, and then after also the shocking defeat to Esperance in the CAF Champions League.
That wasn't a shocking defeat.
Now, I must say it was shocking because KCC are not used to losing at home.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, they've been perfect at home since they started playing.
That was a shock. So it means the coach is now trying out new things, which come with a lot of work. So most of these players will be rusty, and some of the players are not yet back into the team. Okay,
in there and all that mix, there was a friendly Wakiso beating Sports Club Villa 3-2, but I think Villa getting beaten is no longer news.
Yes, it's not news any longer.
So that not being news, Villa and then Wakiso Giants. Wakiso Giants are the other side who are trying to get into the Uganda Premier League. What I know is the owner of the team bought a different team, that is Kamuli Park. So the deal is estimated to have cost around something like 100 million, if I'm not mistaken, buying a position in the big league. So the coach, that is Ibrahim Chiria, who was taken to help the team into the Uganda Premier League, has never promoted any team, but then he's gotten the players that he needs. He's worked with some of them somewhere. He's worked with some players at URA, some players at Villa. But then what is so, the biggest talking point is having some players who look like they are out of steam. Let's talk about a player like Lutu. This is a player who used to play with the Edgar Watsons at Villa. So bringing him back means that there is a lot of work to be done. If it's not, then you will be, I believe something wrong might happen. If you get a player like Bengo, who has also been off steam for so long, he's not been playing top level football, I think he's going to struggle. Much as you have the players and you have the money, I think sometimes we need to direct the resources.
How productive is such a move, trying to regurgitate players whose careers are way past it, to try, because the big league, however much it's the second tier, if you look even worldwide, that it's always the toughest division because everyone wants to get into the big time, that is the top flight. How productive is it to bring back 36-year-olds, 37-year-olds, and I'm being generous with age by age?
What we forget is most of our coaches have an analogy that makes them think. Let's say experience has it, and then they forget that nowadays bodies, the way the game is improving in Uganda, bodies are nowadays the biggest point. Is your body good enough to work around the fatigue and the competition all together? So most of these coaches who coach in the Uganda Premier League, let me say, have been in the game for so long that they still want to use the old methods they used to apply. So right now, you find a case of most of the teams having most of these players who are old enough. Let's say players who are...
You say it.
No, I want some Tiaba. They are looking for these players who have been there for so long, thinking that they have the experience, and forgetting that most of these boys who are coming up are the boys who are getting who are getting into the game now. So you cannot compete with a young boy when you're 36. You're like a dad to this kid, and then this kid is physically better than you. You know, so I don't know whether it will pay off. They can start off well, but then in the middle of the season they might start to struggle, and the teams are even more than the teams the other side. So it's a bit tricky. The movement, the journeys are also longer than the journeys in the...
Yeah, actually talking about the journeys being longer, I was about to end the episode here, but there I remembered something. We have enough up-country clubs now in the league, and that is key. Because now you have Mbarara City, you have Nyamitiowora, you have Onduparaka. Because there was a time the league was just around Kampala.
Yes.
And you talk about the bodies that have to be moved all that time. So, and since these guys don't fly,
it's a bit hard. We saw some clubs trying to struggle through the schedules. Like last season, we saw Villa trying to keep around Kampala so they can play their Uganda Cup games at Wankurukuku. It's a bit tough. So I don't know how Wachiso Giants are going to work around it, because much as you may talk about the teams, no, it might be here walking distance, but there are teams that are in the extreme ends of the country. If you're going to play your first game, let's say in Arua, and then you have to play your next in let's say Mbale, and then you have to play your third game in Mbarara, it means it's going to be a bit hard.
Okay, gentlemen, that's time we had for that episode of Touchdown, our podcast. Catch us here next time.